What does it take to become a legend? The giffgaff of Legends Tournament. Ranked League of Legends teams battle it out to compete for a prize pool of £10,000. giffgaff Legends, Beyond the Rift.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Rift, the show that brings you all the top highlights from this week's action from the giffgaff Legends Tournament. We've now reached the nail-biting last week of the qualifiers. Yes, our teams have been making their last-ditch attempts to claim one of the top 8 places in the league, or in some cases, making the most of their last opportunity to grab some valuable experience playing against top-tier teams. The next time we see the Lucky 8 finalists, it will be at the UK's largest gaming festival, Insomnia 53. I'll be there hosting for the day. Will I see you? Well, we're certainly going to be seeing this man.
Ricoh Arena in Coventry, less than a week's time, guys. There's still spectate tickets. You can come down, you can meet myself, you can meet Komal, my co-caster from this evening, and all the teams taking part. I want to see you there. Buy your tickets. See you in a week.
That was Panky. He'll be joined by Stress, and together they'll make up our shoutcasting talent at the finals. If you're not going to be there, you don't have to miss out. You can watch it live from 11 AM on twitch.tv/giffgaff. I'm going to be swapping notes with the boys later about, the demands for our riders. I'm kind of thinking along the lines of maybe some segways to get around, or perhaps a personal barista to bring me some top quality caffeine, or maybe just some wheelies or skateboard. Really, actually, you know what? I would just quilted loo paper. That's literally how lo-fi I am. The lucky winners of our tournaments will share out a prize pot of £10,000, and that's a tasty 5 that go to the winning team. Don't forget, the winners will also go on to the Riots 4 Nations event at the end of the year. The last day of qualifying is Sunday the 16th of November, and you can check out who the successful finalists are on our eSports portal. Go to esports.giffgaff.com. And whilst you're there, why not take a tour of our videos and blogs, which look behind the scenes of eSports. There's loads there to see. Now, onto this week's tournament news. Match activity has reached fever pitch as the top table teams try to fit in as many games as possible. They were hoping to earn valuable points to boost their chances of either, remaining in the top 8 or reaching it. The top 3 teams last week were FM eSports, Team Infused and Best College UK. Each played 2 games apiece to try and shore up their positions and clinch that top spot. FM took a surprising hit against Legaue Legends. Big ledge points to Legaue there though, and FM's other game is one of our highlight matches, so we'll see how they got on a little bit later on. Team Infused came away happy after winning both of their games against the Birdcage and Perilous Void, and Best College UK's matches are also part of our featured games this week, so more about them in a little while. Further down the table, Perilous Void were pretty active, trying to make sure they didn't slip from last week's 7th place. They played 4 matches and beat the likes of Bunch of Scrubs, Barmacare and Electi. They only lost to Team Infused, which was a fair result. Electi was one of those teams hoping to reach the top 8. Last week they were at number 10 and played a whopping 6 games to try and climb those important 2 places. Do you guys actually ever sleep? That's insane. They took on and beat Handsome Butchers, the Birdcage, Cheeseburger Apocalypse, and Come On Then. Only the Perilous teams managed to halt their progress. We'll find out later if their efforts paid off and put them into the finals. Why don't you tweet us using the hashtag giffgafflegends if you've got anything to say about those results. Moving on to this week's games. Best College UK make 2 appearances in the show today, and in our first featured match, they face London Conspiracy. In match 2, Helix Guitar Gaming play FM eSports. And in our last match, All for None and None for All face, well, you guessed it, Best College UK. So, to our first game, Best College UK versus London Conspiracy. It was an interesting fixture because the teams were pretty well matched. Going into this, Best College occupied 4th place in the league and London Conspiracy was 5th. London Conspiracy had a better track record behind them and they were on a 5-match unbeaten run, whereas Best College have had kind of a mixed bag of results, but they did win their previous game against All for None and None for All. The commentator for this match is Komal, Komalala Ansari.
Here comes Leeson, flashes over the wall, but Vi flashes in right after him. Here comes Malphite to slow him down. They're all focusing Leeson. That's first blood from Malphite. Katarina is coming in and trying to chase down Cho'Gath alongside Vi and Malphite. Cho'Gath extremely low, uses that flash, but Katarina flashes right in after him and gets herself that kill with that auto attack. Malphite focusing Cho'Gath here in the top lane, but here comes Vi for the help. The Rupture being used. He's trying to kite away, but he's being slowed down. Malphite goes in with an unstoppable force and gets that kill for himself. Here in the bot lane, Lee Sin is coming in for a gank, and no idea by Vayne or Thresh. It goes in, Lantern being used. He has to use a final hour and flash. They're now going to focus Thresh. He uses the box, culling being used by Lucian. Lee Sin gonna flash in after and try and slow them down. But here comes Morgana as well to help the team. That's a kill for Lucian onto Thresh. Here, London Conspiracy are looking for this gank. Morgana goes right in with the flash and using soul shackles, but Katarina takes her down. Then using that final hour exhaust and put down onto Lissandra. Lucian is being focused now. He's taking a lot of damage. He's going to try and kite away, but flashes right back in, gets himself a double kill in the end. Now Thresh is going to be focused. Triple kill for Lucian, but he gets shut down by Malphite. Lee Sin is going to try and get this kill, but here comes Vi to help him. He's going to ward hop over the wall. And Flash being used by Malphite to chase him down. He's extremely low, but Vi is going to go in and get herself that kill. Katarina in a really sticky situation. The Dragon's Rage being used on her to avoid the Rupture, but she gets taken down in the end. Anyways, exhaustion put down into Vayne. She's being focused by Lissandra and Morgana. And Vi in a sticky situation now. She's really low. That's Lucian coming along the side as well. Culling being used. Malphite, extremely tanky, gets locked down with the Dark Binding. He's trying to kite away, but unfortunately falls to Lucian in the end. Here they're trying to catch somebody out. The Den used onto Lucian. Nice engage by Vi, gets a kill onto Lucian. But Thresh in the background trying to do something. He's trying to focus Cho'Gath, but that's a really bad position for him right now. Lee Sin is trying to get away. He's also quite low. Cho'Gath, Thresh in the middle of everybody. That's a double kill for Cho'Gath. Malphite picks up a kill onto Lee Sin, but unfortunately he's going to fall as well, giving a triple kill to Cho'Gath. This is going to cause London Conspiracy to push now. Lee Sin gets caught by that death end. Here's Katarina as well. He uses the ward hop over the wall, but runs right into Vi. TP being used, calling used by Lucian. So he's going to get focused upon by Vi. He gets a kill. Regardless of that, Katarina gets a kill onto him. Now Lucian trying to get away. He's extremely low. The flash being used by Lissandra. He's in the Frozen 2. Malphite goes in with the Unstoppable Force. In the meantime, Vayne gets herself a kill. Falls in the end as well. Triple kill for Lissandra. Now Malphite, the only one left, being focused by Lissandra and Morgana. But he's going to go right back around. He's going to get the kill. He does in the end. He's trying to walk away. Lissandra trying to chase him down, but he gets locked down in the end. That's an ace for London Conspiracy. London Conspiracy now with the Baron buff are going to look to push down and get this inhibitor for themselves. They're going to chunk away at it. But Vi really looking for an opening to engage. She's going to just try and defend this off and push out the minion wave. Malphite along the side as well, trying to get that Unstoppable Force. Last time chase them down. But here comes a Rupture from Cho'Gath. Culling being used. He's taken so low and he falls in the end. So there's only 4 people left here. And it goes right in with the Unstoppable Force, trying to focus down Lissandra and Lucian. But he takes quite a lot of damage. It's quite pointless. He gets a double kill. It's Lucian. Now Vayne uses the Condemn, but she's trying to get away as well. Lee Sin goes right onto her, but as Vi uses the Assault and Battery, and she does quite a bit of damage, taking Lee Sin down. But the inhibitor goes down as well in the end. Lucian taking quite a bit of damage, but the lockdown from Morgana with the Soul Shackles and the Dark Binding ends up killing her in the end. And that is only Vayne left here to try and defend, but she won't be able to. The death timers are quite high. They're going to focus the Nexus Towers. Thresh has respawned. He's going to try and help her. Vayne's doing quite a bit of damage, but they go right in onto her, doing so much burst. Exhaustion put down to Lissandra, but it's too late. Only Thresh left here to try and defend. And the Nexus Tower falls. The 2 of them fall. And so they're trying to distract the team, but the Nexus is slowly and steadily falling, and that will be the win for London Conspiracy. Just looking at the post-game lobby stats, you can see that there was quite a dominant win here by London Conspiracy. 12-17 on Lissandra and 12-3-7 here onto Lucian, with quite a lot of assists on Morgana. And there was a lot of engages here on by London Conspiracy, so it's quite a dominant win.
London Conspiracy took the win there, meaning they're undefeated for 6 games in a row. Bad luck, Best College UK, but we've got another game from them later on, so perhaps they'll turn their fortunes around with that one. Let's speak to their captain, Chubby Bear. Welcome back. How you doing? So tell us a little bit about the match.
Under Conspiracy, yeah, like really good team, and their picks honestly was kind of not what we're expecting, especially like the Cho'Gaff pick and the Cho'Gaff and the Lissandra. But the moment when they picked Lissandra, we were like, yeah, right, of course, it's Millie Katarina versus Lissandra. It's like a counter pick. And
so if you qualify for the finals and play them again, like what would you change?
probably we need like a proper like new team comps, new strategies, and we just probably need to have like wider champion pools. Like especially our top laner and our mid laner, we really need to expand our champion pools more. They actually have it, but it's just that they don't really practice that much. So they were just trying to play like their more confident ones in the tournaments.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. On to our second match this week, featuring Helix Guitar Gaming versus FM eSports. In the build-up to this match, Helix had seen themselves fall out of the top 8 and needed to pull off a real upset to improve their chances of making the trip to Coventry. FM eSports are one of the hot favourites for the tournament and have been jockeying with Team Infused for first place over the last few weeks. At the time of this match, they were only 1 point behind Infused. Could they claim a victory and the top spot at the same time? Well, let's find out. With commentary from Panky and Komalala, here's how they got on.
It's going to be a Lee Sin in the mid lane and a Gangplank in the jungle. That really changes everything I was talking about. I was talking about how Lee Sin's really good for early level ganking and he's great for especially level 1 invades, but now that's a Lee Sin mid. Changes everything in the aspects as well that he's against an Ahri. So there's that difference being a melee against a ranged champion. So Ahri can stand at a distance, she can use her Orbit Deception for that poke, but Lee Sin is really all about that all-in, go right in with that Sonic Wave.
As you can see though, we are onto the rift. Immediately, Billy Fufu lands the first hook onto Wedge. He's going to keep the chase going. Caristo over the walls, landed the Q, the Ignite's already out, and it's first blood for FM eSports. We're only a minute in. Caristo goes in and he is being punished this time. Gets caught in that Warwick ultimate to suppress him. Good play from Helix Guitar. Thunder's trying to get cocky and stand on the lantern for a bit too long, but does manage to cook it out in time. Nice play from Helix Guitar. They're looking for that desperation play. They're looking for that desperate Baron. They know they've got to get strong fast, and what better way to do it? But they've been spotted. Thunder around one side, Anzalon around the other. Thunder focuses on Warwick, picks up the first kill. Anzalon is standing right in the middle of his own ultimate with Mega Gnar, or Mini Gnar as it was, and they pick him up with ease. Caitlyn is then nuked down by Lee Sin from behind. Blitzcrank gets caught by a long-range Sonic Wave, and he will fall. Ahri is the last woman standing, drops to Gangplank.
Yeah, so it was a good attempt by Helix Guitar there, trying to get that Baron to help them out somewhat, but there came FM.
And the next members of FM come back. Not FM, Helix come back. Caitlyn is the first to fall. Now they got focused down Blitzcrank. Ahri's there trying to pick up one kill, maybe getting Billy Fufu. Gnar drops, no kill on Billy Fufu. Ahri will fall again as well. 39 kills to 8 in favour of FM. They do just about pick up the inhibitor turret. There we go. And now they'll switch on to an easy inhib. It does scare Blitzcrank off, and the teleport that's coming in from behind with Tundra will help that out too. Soundwave goes back over the wall. The red buff helps him pick up Caitlyn. Gnar will fall down to Tundra. Tundra's kind of trying to come in save Soundwave, and even with all the life steal, it's not enough to keep up poor Ezreal. But it's a triple kill for Akali, all the same.
Yeah, so let's just be real here. FM eSports are completely dominating this game, and Helix Guitar really can't do anything to try and catch up or to defend against them.
Gnar manages to hide in amongst the creep so he doesn't get hooked first time. Does get hooked the second time, but this time he's got 2 members of support. They're going to try for it. Thunder goes to stealth up. He's looking to execute one of them. Ahri round back. Gnar's the first one he finds, but he will lose his life for it as a good knock-up from Blitzcrank's there to respond.
Yeah, so they're going to keep chasing down Thresh, but are they really going to get anything in the end?
Red buff. They keep going, but now Lee Sin's here, Anzalon's there, and wow, the damage on that knockup. Caitlyn will get the kill onto Billy Fufu, but it's enough to finish him off, and now Blitzcrank dodges Sonic Wave and is having a bit of a dance with Caristo. Anzalon doesn't want to dance. Anzalon is not a dancing man. Well timed.
Oh, yeah.
Ezreal catching someone and finish their recall, but down goes Caitlyn because Thunder has shown up again. He's now going to hit his shot at, in fact, 2v3 as they do finish off one, but Warwick's there again this time with a nice infinite duress. Once again, punishes him for going deep. Gnar's there, and a good consistent flow from Warwick will get a good grab on Billy Fufu. Samwise is now here, and he does a massive amount of damage. Blitzcrank's looking for the knockup, but dies before he can land it. Next thing for Gnar, same problem. Dies before he can land any kind of ability, and Samwise is left to clean up the base against just Warwick, who has no chance of catching an Ezreal, as you mentioned before, who can kite for days, and he has a red buff to make it bad.
Yeah, so he's just going to take this inhibitor and probably try to finish by himself. There is Warwick and Caitlyn. Ahri is now respawning soon enough. He's just going to go in and fight.
It does push Caitlyn to the fountain. Here he is kiting that Warwick and finishing him off. He's got life steal, but there's a lot of damage coming out from these two. Anzalon's ult there to help. Dodges past the auto inception, picks up the triple kill. Anzalon gets the Baron while that's all going on. Looking for the fourth. He's looking for that quadra kill onto Blitzcrank. Nars back up too. If he gets them both in time, it could be a penta. Gets the ultimate off. He's still life stealing all he can. Does get shot down by Blitzcrank, but it was so close.
Yeah, that was nicely done by Samwise. Such great kiting done by him. He was so close to picking himself up a penta, but unfortunately he didn't. And now here is Lee Sin and GP. They're just gonna...
They're just gonna find creeps, that's what they're here for. They are killing creeps on the Nexus. There's 3 members of the team up. He's decided it's time to end the game. He's finally hitting the Nexus now. All 5 members of Helix are up, but all 4 members of FM are here. They're going to try and focus one down. First down is Mega Nan, then it's Caitlyn to fall. But Chris is in trouble at the backside. Blitzcrank will go down, only Ari left standing. No one from FM eSports falls down. The Nexus from Helix Guitar will drop, and that is true game ending rather than a last time around. Congratulations to FM eSports all the same. Commiserations to Helix Guitar, but they did put up a good fight.
Yeah, they tried their best anyways, you could tell. So it was, you could see that they were trying their best, and it was kind of expected. FM, with that experience that we talked about, they have so many tournaments played, and Helix Guitar, this is one of their first. So they did lose out on a good bit, but still tried to fight till the end, and that's just the difference between 2nd and 10th place, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. It was one of their first tournaments. They didn't give up for 20 minutes. They didn't instantly surrender. They had the right kind of idea. If they stick it out, they keep playing, they keep training, they keep practicing, this team could still go a long way. It's obviously very, very early days for them. FM have been doing this as this team for quite a long while, so don't take too much from it. You can then see, of course, their opening artwork and their items and whatever. And there's a couple of bronze icons dropping down Helix Guitar's roster.
Another win for FM eSports. Let's speak to their captain, FM Tundra. First of all, welcome back to the show. How you doing? So tell us about the match against Helix Guitar Gaming.
The match against Helix Guitar went pretty well, I'd say, for us. It was pretty much a bloodbath for the amount of kills that were going back and forth either side, but they're the most exciting games to play and watch, so we thought we'd go all out aggression.
Were there any outstanding players?
I think the whole team was pretty good. Didn't really have any outstanding ones. They were just a solid team, though.
How are you preparing for the finals?
With the finals coming up next week, it's getting a little... Preparation's starting to become a little bit more intense now, given it's so close. And we're still looking to go for the top 2 spot. I think our biggest competition is going to be Infused, or if they make it, the new Choke Gaming.
So do you have any predictions for your team in the tournament?
I would say it would depend a lot if Choke Gaming qualifies. If Choke Gaming qualifies for the top 8, I would imagine that the top 2 should be FM and them, depending on how the brackets work out. If they don't qualify, I would expect the top 2 to be FM and Infused.
Thanks again so much for joining us, and good luck in the finals.
My pleasure. Thanks for letting me be here.
We can also speak to Essex Matt from Helix Guitar Gaming. So first of all, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about the match against FM eSports.
It was a tough match. We went into it knowing that we were severely underdogs, and that was proven out in the game. So we ended up setting ourselves mini targets throughout the game to try and achieve as we went along.
How did you go about preparing for this particular match?
We've done a fair bit of scrims. We've been playing together for a number of years as a group, so we're pretty aware of what each other can do and what our strengths and weaknesses are. For this particular match, we just settled onto our comfort champions and looked to just perform as best we could in the lane to see if we could survive into the mid game.
So then Nga is your comfort champ?
He is lately, yeah. I'm finding him really strong. I'm really enjoying how he can dominate the lane if you can get ahead. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way. Akali got to the lane before I did and managed to get the first bit of damage, first trades on me, and I missed a couple of Qs, so I was behind on the trades, and she just dominated me from that point.
Any standout players on the other team, you think?
I think Lee Sin was clearly MVP. I think what was interesting as an experience playing the game was seeing how they layered on top of each other. So it's very hard to distinguish one person who was clearly head and shoulders carrying everyone else.
So what are your thoughts on the tournament?
I'm enjoying it. I'm absolutely loving it. In fact, I got to play against a challenger team, someone who, one of those guys that had experience in the LCS. I mean, it's brilliant to have that opportunity.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. It was a gamble for Helix Guitar Gaming to play such a high-performing team, and unfortunately for them, it didn't pay off. But one gambler who does know what a lucky streak looks like is the roguish card shark Twisted Fate. Now, if you want to know how to make the most of this sleight of hand champion, let's have a look at our guide.
Twisted Fate, the Cardmaster, is a magic damage mid lane champion with map-wide presence and an abundance of utility in his deck of cards. Loaded Dice is Twisted Fate's passive. Upon killing a unit, he rolls his dice, gaining between 1 and 6 bonus gold on the kill. Wild Cards is your Q. TF throws 3 cards in an arc, dealing damage to all enemies they pass through. Pick a Card is Twisted Fate's W. Upon activation, 3 card icons appear in a cycle above Twisted Fate's head: blue, red, and gold. When reactivated, TF selects the card corresponding to the colour currently above his head, which applies an effect and bonus magic damage to his next auto attack. Blue cards add more magic damage than red and gold cards, and also restore a slight amount of mana. Red cards add magic damage in a small area around the target, and slows all enemies damaged by the effect for 2.5 seconds. Gold card is the most commonly desired and seemingly most elusive effect from Pick a Card. TF's next auto attack will deal bonus damage and stun the target. Stacked Deck is Twisted Fate's E. It passively increases TF's attack speed, and every 4th auto attack will deal bonus damage. Destiny is the first part of Twisted Fate's ultimate. When activated, it reveals all enemy champions on the map, including stealth champions. Once active, Twisted Fate gains access to his second ultimate ability, Gate. To use Gate, select an area on the map within the casting range of Gate. After channeling for 1.5 seconds, Twisted Fate teleports to the target location. Start the game with a Doran's Ring, 2 health potions, and a warding trinket. Build towards Athene's Unholy Grail as your primary item, before getting either Sorcerer's Shoes for magic penetration, or Ionian Boots of Lucidity for extra cooldown reduction. As a second item, build a Lich Bane for added impact on your auto attacks. Azonia's Hourglass is a good addition to your build for defensive purposes, and a Void Staff for added magic penetration. A Rabadon's Deathcap for extra damage is an item to think about, with the usual defensive items of Banshee's Veil or Guardian Angel being late game options for Twisted Fate. As for summoner abilities, Twisted Fate players at the top level will typically take Ghost to get into range for using Destiny more easily, alongside the standard Flash for escape potential. In lane, you're fairly safe due to your range and ability to farm with wild cards if needed, coupled with your ability to regenerate mana with blue cards. After level 6, look for an opportunity to coordinate a gank in another lane with your jungler using Destiny. Be sure not to teleport in too far away from your team, or the gank will end up with an easy kill for your opponents. Arrive with a gold card locked in your hand, ready to ensure a successful gank. Now head out onto Summoner's Rift as the master of the cards and show your enemies that when it comes to climbing the ranks, it ain't luck, it's destiny.
Now let's see whose destiny it is to win our last featured match this week. It was between All for None and None for All at Best College UK, who, as you've seen, have already lost to London Conspiracy earlier in the week. All for None were 11th in the league standings going into this match, and 29 points short of a place in the last 8. Best College UK were once our #1 team, but they've been falling in recent weeks due to losses against FM and, surprisingly, Barama Legends. They were 7th in the league going into this game and only 8 points ahead of the 9th place team, so they needed a win to secure their qualifying chances. The teams have met before, with Best College coming out on top. Could All for None make it even Stevens? Commentary is from Panky and Komalala.
There's quite a few seconds, so they're really looking exactly if they want to go for this. Karthus is the option on the table right now, but can be switched over for something else. You don't really know exactly until the countdown goes complete or until they decide to lock it in. But it'll be interesting to see, because Karthus has a lot of global presence as well. He can sit in lane, he can farm for days, he can poke out his lane opponent, and then he can just press R to help his team, and that will be locked in actually.
We also saw Vladimir taking a lot of damage in that top lane as Karthus flash gang from Rammus. He's going to be taunted up. He's getting a lot of damage, and it will be first blood for All for None. Rammus, in fact, diving mid. They've got Orianna and Jarvan in there too. Shockwave goes off, hits 2. Rammus flashes out. Sorry, Orianna flashes out. Rammus is still dancing around. The turret roll full, but so does Karthus. This could be a tier 2 turret top if Vladimir and Lucian aren't careful. Lucian is not careful. Lucian gets bound and nuked down by the Shockwave, but Orianna is going to get caught out. Karthus in amongst there. Wukong's in amongst there, and the Jarvan ult keeps them all in on top of the AoE. Karthus gets his ult off, and they're all in the Defile still. Massive amounts of damage for Best College UK. Vladimir's going to keep chasing. Jarvan won't quite fall down to that ignite. Seth's coming in the backside. They're looking for Vlad. Have they got the damage to finish him? They do, as Tristana with one auto attack out the bush. And Thresh can't finish off these three no matter how low their health is. All for None. Very lucky. They have started the Baron though, because they've cleared all the vision out, and it's going down very quickly. Vlad is there, but he has no wards of his own, so he can't get vision on this. Thresh is finally here to drop one, but it's already very, very low. They have got 5 members here, but Karthus has got a TP at the back. The Baron's already dead though. Rammus grabs it, and they haven't quite got Karthus yet. Shockwave hits 3 members of Best College, and they go down very, very low. Wukong, Karthus, they both fall. Tristana now's down, but the Karthus ult's going off. It will swing the fight. Only Seth's there with tiny bits of health. Gets the taunt off, but will fall for it. Triple kill for Lucian. Orianna's the last man standing for All for None, and there's still 3 up for Best College. How did that happen? Orianna managed to kill Lucian, and Karthus died. Karthus is here to do what he can defending the tower, and Karthus is oh so good at it, and has the rest of the team with it. They catch Vladimir in a binding, but they're not going too deep on it. Wukong comes forward, just decoys back again. Orianna do what she can. She gets caught in goes Thresh, but the immediate Zhonya's ult comes out from Jarvan to try and lock them up, but Wukong gets a good one off onto 3 as well. Shockwave only hits 1 person, and down go a very low health group of All for None. They are waiting to finish them off, but they'll get Karthus down and then stand in his Defile. He's still doing damage. Morgana's picked up a double kill. Thresh and Lucian are left standing here for Best College, but Lucian gets taunted up. He's taken so much. Does grab a triple kill, but now falls down to Tristana. Only Thresh left standing, and this time there are 2 up for All for None.
Yeah.
We do grab a binding in onto Karthus. They're going to go for the taunt, keep him at a distance, but they're going to go deep. And everything frees up. Karthus falls down very quickly. This time not many members of All for None are standing in his passive. First one is Jarvan, but he will lose his life for his trouble. Morgana goes to run full distance, and down goes Vladimir chasing her. Quick leap away from Tristana because Lucian did so much, but Wukong manages to return with the kill onto Morgana, and again, it's a 2-for-2 trade, with both of these teams coming away with slivers of HP. So they're going to whack down this turret in record speed, and there's nothing Best College can do about it. They're going to grab the inhibitor too. If they get bound, if they get hooked or anything like that, this fight could end the game. They just have to give this all up and let All for None take what they want until Karthus is back.
Yeah, they got the inhibitor turret in the mid lane. Now they're rotating towards that top to get another objective for themselves. There's still quite a few seconds left on Karthus, so they might want to go pretty fast. You can tell the Best College are reluctant to go near All for None because they're missing a teammate. So they might have to give up this inhibitor turret as well, which they are going to.
They are, but Karthus has home guard, and he's up in 5 seconds. They're going to go for the fight. Vlad gets his ult off on a good number of people. Tall Giraffe, however, gets hooked in. Vlad will use his Zhonya's as Evil God is taken very, very low. He has got GA though. Karthus is now up and he's coming in. Have they got anything to zone him? Mr. Smug is in deep. He gets a binding off and is now dragged in deep. A great shockwave hits 3 people, forces Lucian back. Karthus didn't die before using his ultimate, so it gets cancelled, and now there's only 3 members of Best College left up. Lucian will pick off Jarvan, but now Tristana can get aggressive because Lucian has no health. It's a double kill for Trist. The next inhibitor is going to be followed up, and there's 4 members of All for None left. It's a triple kill for Tristana at total. She gets the binding onto Lucian. Lucian is going to be ignored, in fact, by All for None. They're going straight for the Nexus turrets. Getting 1. Rammus onto the fountain just for a taunt, and then nothing more, keeping him busy. Nexus turret number 2 is going down. The Nexus itself is exposed. Morgana's finally realised Lucian's alive, but Tristana is still smashing that Nexus to pieces, and All for None and None for All take the game in 42 minutes with a decisive final fight.
That was an extremely close game between these two teams. All for None had a gold lead continuously throughout the game, but the team fights were close between both teams. It was just until the last minute where Karthus got caught out and died, and then that just enabled All for None to go for those objectives.
But there on your screen is the final stats of the game. It was very, very tight, but All for None did come out with the victory and again get themselves that step closer to Y53 in the top 8.
A win for All for None and None for All. They've evened the score between the teams. Bad luck, Best College. That's the second defeat this week. What's going on? Let's speak to All for None team member Seth. Thanks so much for joining us. So tell us a little bit about the match.
Well, we played once before and we got absolutely ruffle stomped. And so this time we banned off, didn't make the same mistake, banned off everything that they had that we felt the team fight as good as last time. So we took away their Katarina, got rid of the J4 player, you know, the jungler. He was on Wukong, which I think is his strongest player, but no one should ever play against that guy's J4.
Why do you tend to pick Rammus?
I'm not actually the jungler for our team. He couldn't play, so I had to jump onto the jungle, and there's only 2 junglers I can play, and they both revolve around click-ons. So Rammus and his click-on is the way to go.
What have you thought of the tournament so far?
It's been interesting. I never really had a chance to play in a tournament type setting before, so it's been a nice change of pace. I mean, ranked is basically solo ranked queue, and team ranked 5Q has now become sort of practice queue now.
Thanks so much and goodbye. Let's hear a final word from Best College UK's Chubby Bear. You played All for None before. What was different this time around?
Honestly, because this is like our 3rd game, we have been playing like 3 games in a row. Not in a row, but yeah, we've been playing 3 games. And we beat them for the first 2 games. And honestly, this 3rd game, they really seem a bit different. They seem more organized. Their vision control is just so well that literally especially the Dragon Pit and like the jungle, it's literally like we are pitch black, and we were blaming our support.
How would you prepare if you played them again?
Like the games that we won, we've been kind of sticking around like the same strategy, like same team comp, like mid lane Katarina, because why we picked Katarina is not that his champion pool is small, it's just that his character is just so confident that even like counter picks, he can even like win the lanes, like because we witnessed it and we know him that well. So yeah, we were just kind of our team comp is always kind of like revolving around Katarina, so it's kind of like a team fight AOE comp. That's why. And this time the first ban they banned out Katarina, we were kind of expecting that, but it was kind of still like a shock, and then we were like, it kind of caught us off guard, and yeah, it was they really planned really well like this game, I'm pretty sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This game also gets our vote for having the best play of the week. The ledge moment takes place only minutes into the game. Rammus from All for None ganks into the mid lane, flashing onto Karthus from Best College, and taunts him to prevent him from flashing or escaping. In doing so, it allows Orianna from All for None to catch up, shield Rammus from any incoming damage, and then land the damage, and ignite the necessary to finish Karthus off for the first blood. It's a simple yet effective way to get the game rolling. Earlier on, we showed you a guide to Twisted Fate. He's a mid-lane champ, and I guess it'd probably be also pretty handy to have the lowdown on the mid-lane role as well. So here it is.
The middle lane in League of Legends is usually home to high damage champions whose job is to pick off squishy, high-profile targets on the enemy team. Mid lane picks can be split into a few different groups, such as AP assassins like Ahri, AD assassins such as Zed who use single target abilities to take down an enemy, burst mages like Syndra, who unleashes massive damage to deal a fatal blow in the blink of an eye, and more utility-focused champions like Orianna, who uses a combination of damage abilities, crowd control, and shields in order to become one of the most consistent picks. Ahri is a common pick currently due to her ability to catch enemies out of position. Landing a charm on a vulnerable target can really hamstring the enemy team, leaving them without a crucial part of their lineup for the next engage. When playing Ahri, it's important to maximize your damage, and that means getting a Deathfire Grasp as your first item. Be sure to use the Deathfire Grasp alongside your charm ahead of the rest of your abilities in order to get the amplified damage effects. Zed is perhaps one of the most difficult mid laners to play, but has one of the highest rewards for being such a high skill cap champion. Zed uses shadow copies of himself to position around the lane before engaging with his ultimate Death Mark that marks a target and deals a percentage of the damage he inflicts on his opponent as bonus damage after 3 seconds. Remember to have all of your abilities available and use basic attacks as well when using Death Mark to maximize your damage on the target. Syndra is a high skill cap mid laner as well, but she's a burst mage, and that means that her lane presence and long range crowd control make her a very tricky champion to play against. Brought to prominence by the now TSM player Bjergsen back in the 2013 EU LCS Spring Split, Syndra's abilities rely on the placement of her Dark Spheres, which are orbs of dark magic that deal damage when placed. The more orbs on the field, the more powerful and potent her abilities become. Syndra has the highest burst damage of any champion in the game at level 6, so watch out when playing against her. Orianna perhaps requires less skill than each of the other 3 mid laners in this video, but requires far more patience when being played. Orianna is a highly consistent pick and can easily punish the mistakes of others while farming up to massive numbers herself. She's very difficult to kill in lane and has large amounts of damage herself after completing an item or 2. Her ultimate, Shockwave, is a big tool for teamfights as it deals massive damage and heavily disrupts the enemy team's positioning. When picking a mid laner, it's important to note that perhaps more than any other role, the ability for an opposing team to counterpick your selected champion is a lot easier due to the number of available mid lane picks. For this reason, Orianna is an incredibly strong pick because she has no really bad matchups, making her an essential champion in any mid lane player's champion pool. Also be aware that there is likely to be a lot of jungle presence in and around your lane. Mid lane is the converging point for multiple jungle paths, and with so many entrances to the lane, it's easy for enemy junglers to get into your lane unseen. Lastly, mid lane is typically the most contested role in solo queue, and with that comes the responsibility of stepping up to the task at hand, so get ready to head out onto the Rift and carry your team to victory.
That was all you needed to know about the mid lane role. So, looking again at the action from today's featured games, there were wins for London Conspiracy, FM eSports, and All for None and None for All. So, the league table as it now stands, going into the final few days of the qualifiers. Team Infused have climbed into the lead with FM eSports 12 points behind, despite their victory against Helix Guitar Gaming. London Conspiracy has jumped into 3rd, and Perilous Rift go up into a comfortable 4th. All the hard work Electi put in has paid off, taking them up into 5th place. Perilous Void are also climbers, taking up the 6th spot. You What Mate have fallen 1 place from last week into 7th, and All for None gained enough points from their win over Best College to claim the last place in the top 8. Sitting in the 9th and 10th challenger places are Best College and Helix Guitar Gaming. Best College only 1 point away from 8th placed All for None. But Helix Guitar have a fair bit of ground to make up if they want to go through to the finals. Remember, these online qualifiers end on Sunday the 16th. Then we're finally going to know who's going to be joining us at Insomnia 53 for the finals, which are happening at the Ricoh Arena in Coventry on Friday the 21st of November. Do come down for the day and visit us. There's going to be some really top quality games as our finalists battle it out for first place. It's going to be amazing, and of course you'll get to see yours truly in the flesh, and also from the knees down. It's a revelation. You've never seen my feet on this show, and just by turning up on Friday the 21st, you're going to have to see that I've got 2 of them. Shocking, I know. If the thought of that is too much for you, then visit the eSports portal instead. Go to esports.giffgaff.com for the grand revealing of the finalists. Plus, we've talked to ESL's Director of League Operations and Gfinity's Esports Director about the demands of organising and officiating in the ever-growing esports scene. You can read all about it in our Esports Rules of Engagement blog. If you've got any comments, send us an email to esports@giffgaff.co.uk. Perhaps you've got something to say about the games or blogs that you've read, or you might just want to wish the teams good luck in the finals. Send it all in or tweet us with the hashtag giffgafflegends. That's it until the finals. Don't forget you can watch them on twitch.tv/giffgaff all day on Friday the 21st of November. See you not on the Rift, but in Coventry.